Welcome, ladies. This is just a little bonus presentation for you that I created a few years ago, and I updated this for you because of how we feel after we get divorced. We're really kind of upside down. And this practice, it's about unwavering belief in yourself. I like to call it the power of your sacred self. Is not a totally about spirituality. You don't have to be spiritual to do this. It's really about alignment. It's about getting your mind, body, and soul all connected again, being whole, being in alignment, and restoring your self worth, your self love, and your self care. So I think you're going to get so much out of this and continue to use the practice on a daily basis. And you'll see so much improvement in your emotional stability. So it's a 5-step transformational process. It's really designed to pull you out of your fears and most of all, to stop all that negative self-talk that we all have after getting divorced. We beat ourselves up. We feel so guilty. We feel like losers. And none of that is true. It's the furthest thing from the truth. Also, it will teach you how to create what you want and manifest your desires. And this is really important because now you're starting a new life and you want to create this new life and create new happiness and joy. So it's really about manifesting all of that. It's going to bring you more happiness, and it's also going to help you create loving relationships again, more meaningful connections. You're not going to be coming from a place of being a victim when trying to create new relationships, because that will only repeat what you've gone through. So the power of self-love. When you learn to love yourself, you become unstoppable. And that's really what I want to teach you, how to be unstoppable and have that scintillating love for others to follow. But it's got to start with you first, ladies. And why do I teach this? Well, you teach what you have to learn. And this is something that has come to me in the past year. I have had a very, very challenging journey. And my journey has taught me that everything that happened to me were lessons. And I needed to share those lessons with as many people as I could. And so, what I have found is that this process is so helpful for those who have felt knocked down, broken, and abandoned. All the turmoil after a divorce, all those painful feelings, it helps to heal them. And to teach women to stand in their truth. And don't be afraid of being you. There's nothing more powerful than the real you. So, in order to attract love, you must be love. As I said, it all starts from within. Everything we want starts with us. So you're going to discover that your happiness is not dependent on someone else. Like when we were married, we thought that so much of our happiness and bliss may depend on, our husbands, but that's not the case. Your happiness is really your job, and you're going to learn to have more power than you ever thought possible. Because once you get everything in alignment, the mind, the body, the soul is connected. Now you are tapping into that beautiful inside power. So what you hold in your heart's going to show up in your life. And if you're filled with resentment and anger, that's what you're going to manifest in your exterior. So it's so important to pay attention to what you're feeling inside. So, number one, create a sacred space for yourself. Find a little corner in your home, your apartment. Maybe it's a cushion, a chair, but a little space that you can go to just to sit and get quiet. It's going to be a place that where you're going to go to really restore positive energy. And if you continue to do it on a regular basis, that's exactly what will happen. You'll go to that little sacred space, you'll sit, and you'll get calm. And those fears will start to drop away. I'm showing you my own sacred space. I created one in my house. It was a guest room. So I just decided, you know what? I need this more than the guests do. And I have an altar you can see on my ottoman where I go every day. I light candles. I have little artifacts from trips and pictures of loved ones. You can add some cushions, candles, but it should be just a peaceful little place for you to go to when you're feeling like you're off balance. The other thing is you're going to learn about meditation. I'm going to teach you briefly about the practice. It's something that's a personal experience. There's no right way or wrong way. The only way that is the right way is the way that you do it, because it is so personal. And it's really just a breathing practice and getting still and just getting quiet and slowing your mind down. You're going to learn a little bit about journaling. So you may want to get yourself a special little notebook or an iPhone app, or you can use audio memos, but I find written words on paper have the most power, because that journaling is really allowing your soul to speak to you and come through with guidance and messages. So, some of the tools I recommend, if you use them, this is what's going to happen. You're going to develop more clarity, and you'll have more control over your thoughts and your feelings. And we all need that, absolutely. After going through, the chaos and the pain of a divorce, our thoughts and feelings are upside down. And of course, we are caught in a lot of pain. And the purpose of this practice is to feel the pain and then release it. You'll also have the ability to make better choices for yourself. You never lose the power to choose. And I think when we get divorced, we feel that maybe a lot of our power is stripped away. But I promise you, if you do this, your power will come back. You will start to make powerful choices, and you're just going to be a whole lot more responsible in every area of your life. And also, you'll create better relationship with others by reclaiming your own worth. That is the foundation of getting back up after a divorce and rebuilding a new life. It's about reclaiming your own worth, which sadly gets stripped away while we go through that process, but it can be restored, and very quickly, if you just put a little, work into the daily practices that I suggest. So remember that life's challenges, they're stepping stones to success. And that's what I've learned in my own life. All my challenges, and absolutely the most painful ones, have been my best teachers. And I know that sounds maybe hard for you to comprehend today, but if you can start to look, become aware of what you have gone through is really a lesson. It's a teaching to find the nugget of what you should learn from that experience and journal about it, meditate about it. Your life will change so quickly when you look at everything that happens, that it's a learning experience while we're here on this earth. Life is never going to be a bowl of cherries. We're going to have ups and we're going to have downs. And the true path to success is to understand that the challenges are teaching tools. Also, I do have a weekly group coaching program, and it's on Live Smart, Love Smart, which you'll have access to, after going to this page and doing these videos. You will be able to join that group. And it's a private group, so it's going to be sacred conversation and posting over there. You'll be free to share in a circle of women that have experienced what you've experienced. So the first step is focus. And I'm teaching you how to shift your focus from outside of yourself and bring it back in. We've always been taught that the solution is outside, but in fact, the true answers to anything you want to do or create comes from within. So bring your focus off the external events and start to bring your attention within you. Get quiet in your sacred space. Sit there, light a candle, just get peaceful. You can be sitting in a chair, on a cushion, but just as long as your spine is straight. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Inhale and exhale. And as you exhale, say, I release any fear or anger or resentment today. Just breathe it out and breathe in. I breathe in love and peace. Do this starting at 15 minutes would be fabulous, but if you can only do 5 or 10 to start, work up to 15, and then maybe eventually a half an hour to 45 minutes. Your life is going to change so dramatically. You can also listen to meditation music, chanting. There's some great resources for this. You can find videos on YouTube. I love Solfeggio on YouTube. There's meditation CDs. There's spectacular apps now on the iPhone that you can use, that you can listen to, that will help you just get into a deep, relaxed state. Quiet the mind down. Just stop all the thinking that just keeps running and running and running. And if you can learn to just let your thoughts be, let them come up. They're flying around. Just let them float away like clouds. If something comes up, see it, release it. Don't try to stop thinking. That is the worst thing you can do, because the harder you try to stop thinking, the more you're going to think. So I learned that once I owned my own story, it no longer owned me, and I was able to reclaim my self-worth very easily. So allow yourself to connect with your higher self. It's a peaceful, wonderful feeling. And you'll feel the fear start to drop away, and your body's going to become relaxed. Everything slows down, even your breathing, and you're just really getting in touch with you. When you're finished doing this period of quiet, just sitting still, write in your journal any thoughts that keep repeating themselves, anything that keeps coming up for you. Just write it down, because you're going to see a pattern in what's happening. Writing these things down is one of the most powerful practices you can do, because it's really your soul speaking to you, not that crazy little ego that whips you around, but really the things that are going to come forward for you are really coming from a deeper place within. So write a few notes in your journal and capture what's on your mind. Also, try doing this for 21 days to create a new practice, a new habit. 2 or 3 days, it's not going to happen. But if you do it for 21 days straight, you're going to have a foundation. Awareness is the second part. Become aware of what you're resisting. And it's very hard when we get divorced. We're pushing back so much through the process that it absolutely depletes us of any of our positive energy. You've got to get in touch with those feelings and emotions and become aware of what you're going through and what you're feeling. Being fully in touch with your feelings and emotions helps you to understand what has happened in your life. And you're going to realize that what has happened does not define who you are. But really, what has happened is based on somebody else's behavior and has nothing to do with you. And that's a big, big lesson after divorce. We take on the whole responsibility. We feel guilty. But in fact, in most cases, it was your husband's behavior that ultimately may have ended the marriage. And appreciate who you are and your divineness, because that is never taken away. You come to this earth divine, you're going to leave as a divine being. So appreciate that and tap into it. What you have, if you take joy in it, the universe will send you more. It's about gratitude. And I, every night, write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. And it has created so much more in my life. When you tap into this awareness, you're connecting to your intuitive feelings in your body. And you're creating a more powerful present for yourself by staying aware. I consider all of this as really being a mind fit practice when you put these things into place, and you're releasing the past because you're becoming more and more and more present. Therefore, you're not stuck in those painful feelings of the past. And here's the big one: is there someone you need to forgive? And in divorce, there usually is. I think it's forgiving our partners first, our ex-husband, and then forgiving ourselves, because we really didn't do anything wrong. We think because the marriage failed that we failed, and we take on so much guilt. But that's not really true. It takes 2 to tango. And lots of times, as hard as you try, when you don't have somebody else on the other side of the net willing to play the game, there's really nothing more you can do. So think about forgiveness and journal about it. What do you need to forgive your husband for, and what do you need to forgive yourself for? Your awareness will open you up to other options. Once you start really getting present, you're going to start seeing that you have choices in your decisions. And it's also going to free you from judgment and that personal negative commentary that constantly goes on in our heads following a divorce. So just try to get present, get aware with what's happening on a daily basis as you sit there, and then write down what comes up for you after this practice. It's going to allow you to advocate for yourself and set boundaries, especially in dealing in communications with your ex-husband. And you're going to discover things now that you didn't know before. The more aware you become, the bigger the picture becomes, and you're not looking at everything with blinders. Journal daily about all of this, and opportunities will start to open up to you. New ways of seeing things, new perspectives, which are going to be so empowering for you. The third step of this practice is intention, and intentions are so much more powerful than a goal. Intentions have the soul of the universe behind them. And the best thing about intention is if you can identify what's keeping you stuck in fear and make note of that, then you can start to look at what you need to do to create the life you want. So first you kind of need to clean house. You need to find the dirt. Where is it? Release it so you can make room to start to create what you want. And as I said, intention's going to create new choices, and you can set intentions for anything you want to change. You can do it with intention. This is a little worksheet for you that you can use. Identify the problem, set the intention, and then create the action steps that will help you to manifest what you want. So it will help you to improve your self-care. You'll start to live in alignment with your heart's desires rather than with your fears, because you're going to be focusing on what you now want to create. And create action steps, a plan for each thing that you would like to manifest. And you'll do it in incremental steps. I used to write a gold card, which is a 3x5 index card for each intention that I had. And I would read that card daily. And I want to tell you, I have manifested 100% everything I've written on a gold card and read daily. Very, very powerful practice. You're planting the seed out in the universe, and the universe will deliver. And this is not total woo-woo, ladies. This is not hocus pocus. This is real. I have done it myself over and over and over again. So set intentions to create what you want. Start choosing versus reacting. There's a big difference. When we choose, we're coming from a place of power. When we react, we're coming from a place of that victim mentality. So you really want to, work with the intention of, what do I want in this situation, before you respond. You do this, this will automatically increase your power and your self-esteem in dealing in situations. And living with intention is absolutely taking all your power back, because now you're making choices for things that you really want. Thoughts. Oh boy. There's been so much written about the power of our thoughts, but we never seem to really pay attention to that. But I'm going to give you some key pointers here. Only you get to control what you think. Nobody has control over that. And you have to understand that thoughts are energy. So when you throw a thought out, it's an energetic vibration, and what comes back to you is in alignment with that energetic vibration. They absolutely show up in your reality. So when you're thinking negatively, you're going to have negative experiences. When you are thinking that you're not good enough, you're going to be treated that way. So you've got to pay attention to what's going through your mind. You've got to be consciously aware of your thoughts. And if you catch yourself in negative energy, you've got to immediately, negative thought energy, you've got to immediately break that pattern and shift to more positive thoughts. Use thoughts to empower you. How do you break the pattern? I wore an elastic band on my wrist for years, and every time I had a negative thought, I pulled the elastic band. It became a physical trigger. Now I've progressed. I'm pretty conditioned to positive thinking, but when I find myself slipping, I tap myself on the left side of my forehead, and it's just a reminder to break my thought pattern and start to say, how can I think positively about this and get out of that negative thought? Be clear on what you want. Learn how to reframe your thinking. And that's really not as difficult as we think it is. It's just a matter of a shift, small shifts of getting more and more and more positive. You're not going to go from A to Z, but you are going to go from A to B, B to C, C to D. It's a process. It's in incremental steps. And one of the best things you can do is read positive affirmations daily to help you stay in a positive mindset. They are very, very powerful. I have little stickies that on my bathroom mirror, and I might change them weekly, my affirmations. And the other thing is I write 10 affirmations every morning in a little notebook about what my heart desires. So if you love yourself unconditionally, you can create a whole new experience for yourself. Each night, think of 3 to 5 things. I mentioned this before about being grateful for, and put them in your journal. You do that nightly, you're going to start to manifest so many wonderful things because you're putting gratitude out to the universe. And the final step in this process is helping others. One of the fastest ways for you to grow is to help other people. And it's the law of reciprocity. What we give out to others comes back to us tenfold. So just make a list of who you could help. Other women, friends of yours that may be going through a divorce right now, that may be experiencing the pain that you experienced, but now you're further along. This is what I do with my life now. I serve women who have been knocked down and in pain. I help women that are immediately, coming out of the ethers of a divorce, and they just don't know how to even put one foot in front of the other. They're numb. So that's my mission, to help everybody get back up and create a new life and live with passion and joy and have a new loving relationship. As women, it's part of our DNA. We are very giving souls. We are raised to be giving souls. So when you cast that pebble in the pond by helping someone else, those ripples expand and keep expanding and keep expanding. And we really have the power by serving others to change this planet and creating just a better world. So why not be a contributor? And when you help others, you feel so much better about yourself. As I said, it's one of the most empowering things we can do when we're standing in our strength and serving others. So to continue to heal, reach out and help others with their journey. And I mentioned the law of reciprocity, and giving creates gratitude. And when we have gratitude, it magnifies dramatically in our lives. So ladies, it has been an honor to take you through this process. Focus, awareness, intention, thoughts, and helping others. And if you haven't noticed, those 5 steps spell faith. And this is what this process does. You build unwavering belief, unwavering faith in yourself. Bless you. I am here for you and look forward to connecting with you personally. Thanks again.